Creating an IEP that will provide educational benefit to a student can sometimes seem like an overwhelming task, and sometimes the family and school district find it difficult to communicate with each other about the student's needs. When this happens, something to consider is IEP Facilitation or IFSP Facilitation for early intervention students. For the purpose of this video, the phrase IEP Facilitation will be used to also include IFSP Facilitation. IEP Facilitation is an option available to parents and school district staff when they both agree that it would be valuable to have a neutral person present at an IEP meeting to assist them in discussing issues regarding the IEP. Let's take a look at the facilitator. The IEP facilitator assists in creating an atmosphere for fair communication and the successful drafting of an IEP for the student. The facilitator keeps the focus on the student and what the student needs. With the agreement of all IEP team members, the facilitator might help create an agenda for the meeting that includes ground rules. This helps to keep the atmosphere of the meeting positive. The facilitator helps the team to resolve conflicts and disagreements that arise during the meeting that are related to the IEP. The facilitator encourages communication among all members of the IEP team. Each facilitator is highly skilled in effective communication and listening strategies and therefore provides a good model for all participants. Sometimes it is difficult for the IEP team to stay focused and productive. The facilitator can help the team stay on task and within the allotted time for the meeting. The facilitator does not take sides, place blame, or make the determination if any particular decision is right or wrong. The facilitator is only there to keep the lines of communication open among team members to allow them to move forward as they develop the IEP. The facilitator helps to ensure the team is on the same page with areas in which they are in agreement, which helps the momentum continue towards the desired result of an agreed-upon IEP. The facilitator does not make decisions for the group, is not a member of the IEP team, does not chair the meeting, or write the IEP. These are the roles of team members. Why should you consider IEP facilitation? Although most IEP meetings do not need the services of a facilitator, at times, tension and disagreements arise that prevent IEP teams from moving forward to create an agreed-upon IEP for the student. The presence of a facilitator can help to build trust among the IEP team members and between parents and schools. Having a facilitator present allows participants to discuss and hopefully resolve conflicts if they arise as the team works to develop the IEP. Because the facilitator encourages conversation, dialogue, and suggestions from all participants at the meeting, not only does everyone feel like a part of the process, but many times new options are identified to help meet the students' needs. An IEP facilitation is typically less stressful and most likely much less costly than the more formal dispute resolution option of due process. Being prepared is key to a successful IEP meeting. Here are some suggestions that may assist families in preparing. Look at your child's strengths and needs and try to identify your major concerns about his or her education. Go to the meeting with a list of issues you would like to discuss and any questions you would like to ask. Before the meeting, give thought to how you believe your child's disabilities affect his or her education. Think about whether your child has been making progress with his or her current program. Make a list of what is working and what is not. Make sure that the most recent evaluation report and IEP reflect an accurate and complete picture of your child. And be willing to listen carefully and consider possible solutions and options discussed at the meeting. There are resources available to parents to assist in preparing for IEP meetings. Parents can attend a workshop or training conducted by their local Parent Training Information Center to learn about their role and responsibilities as a member of the IEP team. A PTI staff member can answer questions and help in preparing for the meeting. Parents can contact the Special Education Consult Line to speak with a specialist who can help parents understand their rights regarding their child's special education services. Now let's examine some frequently asked questions. How do I request IEP facilitation?
Either parent or district can request IEP facilitation. However, since the process is voluntary, both sides must agree. When everyone agrees to IEP facilitation, a request form is completed and signed by the parents and district, then submitted to the Office for Dispute Resolution, or ODR. This form is available from the ODR or online at the ODR's website.
When are IEP facilitations scheduled?
IEP teams interested in IEP facilitation should submit the completed and signed request form to the ODR at least 2 weeks prior to the IEP meeting. The ODR will make every attempt to locate a facilitator who is available in the time frame chosen by the IEP team. If no facilitator is available on this date, however, the IEP team may need to reschedule the date or proceed without the facilitator. Just as for any IEP meeting, the IEP facilitation meeting is scheduled by the school at a time and place that is mutually agreeable to all required IEP team members.
How will I be notified about the IEP facilitation meeting?
Notification about an IEP facilitation meeting is the same as any other IEP meeting. The school district is still required to give proper notice of the IEP meeting to the parents, including the purpose, time, location, and list of who has been invited.
Who attends the IEP facilitation?
Attendance at an IEP facilitation meeting is the same as any other IEP meeting. The required members of the IEP team attend the meeting in addition to the facilitator. As with non-facilitated IEP meetings, parents have the option to invite an advocate or other people who have knowledge or special expertise regarding their child.
Is there any cost for the IEP facilitation meeting?
There is no cost to the parents or the school district for IEP facilitation for students with disabilities. If parents and schools agree to a facilitator for gifted IEPs or GIEPs, the school will cover the costs associated with the facilitator.
What happens if the IEP facilitation is not successful?
As with any IEP meeting, if the parties in an IEP facilitated meeting are not able to resolve the disagreements preventing them from drafting a mutually agreeable IEP, they are free to pursue other forms of dispute resolution, such as mediation or a due process hearing.
Does the IEP facilitator make decisions for the team?
No. The role of the facilitator is to make every effort to ensure that the team is communicating so that the IEP team, not the IEP facilitator, can develop an appropriate IEP for the student. The facilitator also assists by offering suggestions for resolving conflict that may be preventing the team from agreeing on the various components of the IEP. The members of the IEP team remain the sole decision makers.
The goal of an IEP team is to develop a program that meets the needs of the student and to allow the student to make meaningful progress. Sometimes a neutral person helping to keep the team student-focused is beneficial to this process. For these times, IEP facilitation has been shown to be successful. If you would like to consider IEP facilitation or for more information, please contact the Office for Dispute Resolution.